So we have right now. It is 10:36 p.m. 10:36 p.m. I was waiting for the stream elements to do their thing. What? What happens if we attach? What happens if we attach an AI system to stream elements? So then every time I stream, all of a sudden your assistant in AI is stream elements. That would be ad starts in like 5 minutes, and like 4 minutes, and 45 seconds. It is 23rd of March, 2024. And so what happens if we attach an AI system to stream elements, and the very system itself that is designed for entertainment, you can talk to it and it can just kind of work as your personal assistant and then just adjust the stuff you need. So imagine if we did attach AI system to stream elements, all you're doing is you'd be talking to the name or whatever stream elements you want to call it. Stream elements will recognize your voice and learn because you're streaming. So it's going to build its own digital profile of you. And then you can just talk to stream elements and tell it, hey, shift this video, move this here. You can then just use your voice command to have the AI move across the UI system. Right? You'd be like, hey, stream elements, cut video, start video. Hey, stream elements, pause video. Stream elements, change scene to live scene. Stream, what happens if you just attach AI system to stream elements? They just give commands to stream elements to like do stuff you need to do. Hey, stream elements, put up the snack break sign. I'm gonna be back in 15. Put a 15-minute timer down, and then it just creates it, does it, builds it, and works as like your digital video assistant, but it's like an AI system. Wouldn't that make more sense? Wouldn't that be much more intuitive in its design? Right? That's really the only thing that's kind of missing. And I'm actually surprised that Google already hasn't done this. You know what I mean? For how massive Google is, you would think the first thing they would do with any kind of generative AI system would have built like personal AI systems to like sell to people or to companies. But it eliminates a lot of white collar jobs. So I see why they're probably a little hesitant. Because for their very own demise, AI will take away their jobs. That's kind of funny. But I guess that's hubris. They went headlong into AI and then stopped and realized, should they? And then now it's too late, and all those AI systems are going to take their jobs. Quite literally. AI can program better than a programmer. Okay. AI can do digital security better than a human digital security can. Okay, there goes the analytical jobs and the very foundation of programming jobs itself. AI system can be a doctor better than a doctor. There goes millions of doctors. AI system can lawyer better than a lawyer. There goes all the lawyer jobs. So probably tens of millions of jobs about to be wiped out in like 10 years. So in America, like tens and tens of millions of jobs are going to be wiped out like 10 years because programmers here in California went headlong into AI and didn't stop the question, should they, or why are they doing this, or should they be doing this? And it's literally going to eliminate all their jobs, all the white collar jobs. An AI system can program better than a programmer. An AI system can actually engineer better buildings and better aircraft than a human can. So there goes all the architect engineering jobs. An AI system will also probably become a better teacher than your teacher. And then there goes tens of millions of teacher jobs. So it's like a whole bunch of programmers, international people, headlong right into AI, and didn't stop and think, why or shit. And by the fact that the damage is already done, they're just now trying to build legislation to curtail it back. Like quite literally every single person that was at CES and any kind of person that has money or is thinking realizes that anybody that's fucking intelligent realizes that AI is going to just crash course, just remove tens and tens of millions of jobs. AI systems will drive a 18-wheeler better than a human can. Do you understand? Or AI system will be able to fly an aircraft better than a pilot can. Do you understand? Actually, hell, smaller drones can pick up and drop off your package better than Uber can. Well, that's probably not true. You know why? Because all the tests we've seen of like a drone trying to drop off a package, it's like horrendous comedy. Like, uh, it's the fun. Like through iteration, they're just gonna get better. But like right now, they've tried. Like Amazon was so stupid. Amazon like a few years ago, like it's like 4 years ago. Yeah, back in 2020, started the pandemic. They were like, "Oh, the pandemic happened. Let's fucking build drones, drop off packages." It just like fell flat in their fucking face. 4 years of wasted R&D. They were like, "Oh, the pandemic's here. Everyone's home." Amazon's like, "We're gonna build a whole bunch of drones to drop off packages," and just comedic fucking shit ensued. Packages going missing, drones flying in the trees, packages ending up in pools, uh, drones falling down the cars. Like it was just fucking hilarious. Like comical. It should be a movie. Comical level fucking comedic shit. You know, hell, I could probably write a movie or comedy series on like drones or whatever, and it's just all about like a Bay Area tech group of geek guys that are just like trying to get into drones, and then you see like all the ensuing problems of drones for the past 4 years. Just comedic level comedy slapstick humor. Um, Hell, even fucking automated cars are like so fucking funny. Right? In SF, there'll be like 20 cars behind this one AI car as it like can't make a turn, and people just start driving around it. The people are so fucking fed up they drive around it. There'll always be an AI car like stuck where like it doesn't want to hurt anybody and doesn't want to be mean and it just sits there and it's stuck. There'll be like 50 cars in a line leaving a Trader Joe's and the AI car is just stuck and can't move because it doesn't want to be mean. And then everyone just flips off the vehicle because no one's in it and they just drive around it. And the car is so comic level, stupid, funny, like AI systems. You can easily write like a TV show series or what's it called, a movie or whatever. Um, and even now, so just know, hey, 4 years, Amazon, billions of dollars, falling face, fat, their face flat on the earth, just laughing, comic fucking stupidity. The drone delivery system is horrendous, and they failed. And they wasted like millions of dollars on this project, probably tens of millions of dollars on this project. We found the drones can't drop they'll drop off packages on the roof of a house. The Amazon drone will drop the experimental drone will drop off packages on the roof of a house. Someone's pool damaged. It didn't place object on the ground. It like dropped it. Drones running into trees. Drones running into power lines. Drones running into birds. Drones crashing into cars. Comedic level stupidity. Tens of millions of dollars wasted because they didn't. They like bulldoze this thing forward without like thinking along the way like how to build a system that's going to operate first. They just went like headlong into making it, and then it just and then it just kept failing and failing and failing. Instead of like get the build from the ground up, everything to make sure the foundation, whatever the product that something you're trying to design, works before you just. That's what makes this so funny. That's just fun. So yeah, your Uber driver can still deliver and pick up packages from Safeway to your house better than a drone can. But your AI systems will replace 554,000 truck driver jobs. Will be eliminated. Anywhere between 445,000 to about 554,000. 450,000 to 550,000, make it much more digestible, or you just round down. 500,000 plus jobs for truck drivers will be eliminated the next 7 to 8 to 10 years. 7 at the earliest, 10 to 12 years is the max from now. So you just go back to 10. So it's either 7 to 8 years from now at the earliest, or 10 to 12 years at the max. So you can say less than 10 years. If you want an accurate number, 9 years. You're like, by the time 9 years comes along, 500,000 plus truck driver jobs are eliminated. Those are the mouths to feed for anywhere between, I think it's like 4 to 6 million people being fed or something like that. Anywhere between 4 to 6 million people being fed as families. So when you eliminate 550,000 jobs, that one person can feed a family of 1 to 6. And people are like, why is it 1 to 6? Because the household dynamic has changed. It's actually a normal household now in the United States. It's not even overcrowding. It's just kind of a familial thing. You'll find homes that have 10 or 7 people living together as a unit. What I mean by that is you have like 2 pairs of grandparents. That's 4 people. The parents, there's 6. and then you might have 4 kids, so you end up with a household of 10. You might have an aunt and an uncle, a mother and a husband, and they might have 3 kids. So then you have a family unit of 7. Okay? So all across the United States, from a sociological standpoint, the household dynamic has changed. It's now a single working person, but a family unit is now 1 of 6. It's usually 1 of 1 to 6. If it's a 2-person working unit, it's 2 to either an order of magnitude anywhere between 5 to 12. So if there's 2 people working, they might take care of 5 to 10 people. You have 2 pairs of grandparents. They don't work anymore, they're retired. 2 parents, that's 6. And then some families have 4, or guess what, 6 kids. So you get to the 12-person unit from a sociological standpoint. And so when you eliminate 500,000 plus truck driving jobs in the next 9 years due to AI trucks, you're cutting into the eating for 4 to 6 million Americans. 4 million on the low end spectrum, 6 million at the high end, people that you might miss in your data set. So guess what's going to happen in the same time frame? 9 years. It's 2024 now. By the time 2033 comes along, tens and tens and tens of millions of white-collar jobs are eliminated. You have about 9 years to transition from whatever current job you're working now before an AI system takes your job. You have about 9 years, give or take. 7 on the low end, probably 12 on the high end. Hell, these corporations are going to utilize your job as a training data set to take your job away from you. Let me say it again, slower for people to understand, because humans are stupid. Corporations, LLCs, and firms are going to use you as the workforce for the data set for the AIs to take jobs away from you. AI will replace doctors because they can do it better. AI will replace lawyers because they can lawyer better. AI can already program better than programmers, so all the programmer jobs are gone. AI could do digital security better than digital analysts can, so they lose all their jobs. But I take that back. I would still say there's going to be some human doctors, but tens and tens of millions of jobs are going to be gone. There'll be a smaller batch of people that are teachers at a school, and the rest will have generative AI kind of teaching classrooms and subjects. And then the generative AIs could be experts of those subjects, of those fields too, quite literally. If the only thing the English teacher generative AI is mastering is that thing and the proficiency, then it's going to be super proficient in that thing. It just continues to get better. If the generative AI is just focusing on physics, then it's going to become better than all of our physicists. If the generative AI just is studying and mastering medicine, it's going to be better than all your physicians and doctors and MDs and ODs and DOs. And then what you do is you take these androids, you take these cyborgs, these robots, these droids, and you have AI attached into their systems, and all of a sudden there is your working robot that is immortal, that'll become a better doctor than a doctor. Here is your working robot that'll become a teacher, become an incredible English teacher, and no other English teacher can ever step up a class to them. You'll have a robot in a classroom with the AI system attached to it, and it'll be a better physics teacher than your physics teacher. You can even have a robot be a better truck driver as a truck driver, but you don't need to. You just have the whole machine as a unit become better at driving. So the AI generative system that take over trucks are just incredible drivers. That same learned system is already perfect. NVIDIA has already designed a system where it uses LiDAR to map out everything around itself and can drive perfectly. NVIDIA created the perfect AI-driven system. Everyone else just wants their own model so they can sell. And once AI built their AI system, NVIDIA built their AI system around the ability of their vehicles to. It's it's like the foundation of its brain to use LiDAR to map out kind of everything around it. And it could discern, when it uses LiDAR, it produces a three-dimensional image of the environment, and it can discern objects like a flying bird or a ball, or an object or a car, a moving object or a still object. Oh, my bad. People don't understand because humans aren't this smart. 2 years ago, NVIDIA explained their self-driving car, but I also feel like people. Let's just go to the latest tech. Maybe that'll make more sense that people have got it. Actually, the reason you have a CEO of imagery is because his foundation of his whole department, Erwan Irifer, with the basis for AI, everything. There are models of AI from NVIDIA. That's why NVIDIA stock doubled from 400 to 800. It's going to eclipse like 1,000 or whatever a share. Because their AI that is learning off of this allows the AI to fly a car, fly an aircraft, or navigate the environment around itself. But they're definitely behind because I already talked about this back in 2017. It's like 7 years ago. I already discussed this with tech people in the Bay Area. So then they took my idea from 2017 and they finally got to it 7 years later. They're a little slow though. This was me as an Uber driver when I was going to university in 2017. About 7 years earlier, I was already having this conversation with tech people in my car. And then 7 years later, NVIDIA's already taken what I told them, and then they adapted it. So I was just, yeah. I'll let this guy say what he's about to say, and I'll tell him that I can already do that in my head. So make it much easier. I'll repeat. Yeah, I already did that 7 years ago. Sorry. Doesn't need computational power. You just attach an AI system to it. That's all. Oh, there's a number now. It's 500,000 brains to one. This is tech guy. Worked for Facebook, one of the programmers. He was at TwitchCon. And Sony was at TwitchCon. Sony was at TwitchCon. They had their engineers and programmers that were there. Ford had their engineers and programmers there at TwitchCon. And Facebook had their programmers that were there at TwitchCon. And I was just picking the brain of this Facebook software engineer guy. And I already knew just they were dumb. I'm not surprised because humanity is stupid. So like the percentage chance of him being stupid was pretty spot on. And he thought it was 37 to 1. He thought it was like 16 to 1. I laughed at him. I was like, I just had this conversation with this person like 6 months ago or whatever. Fucking hilarious. Their arrogance and stupidity is banal. He thought it's like 16, the power of 16 brains. He thought it's 16 human brains to one AI system. And I told him, no, my friend, it's like order of magnitude like thousands. I was like, the current models that I remember seeing last year was 18,000. It was basically like 18,000 human brains to equal one AI system. And it should also be closer to like, 40-something thousand, like 50-something thousand back then. So just even like last year, the information I had was being, like my 2023 moment of talking was accumulation of information from 2022 and 2021. Was like the scaling kind of measurement of models was How powerful are these generative AIs? These machine growth learning algorithm AIs. It's basically a machine growth learning algorithm. That's all it is. It's actually an algorithm. It's not an AI system, not artificial intelligence. It's a algorithm. That's all it is. But they keep calling it AIs because it's like a trendy thing to say. So these machine growth learning algorithms, aka generative AIs, aka it's just a freaking algorithm. It's not what they thought it was. The arrogance. And I asked them too. I was like, "Hey, is Facebook sending like their best people?" Not taking a jab at him, but just like, "Who the fuck are they sending to TwitchCon?" And he basically said, "He's not even supposed to be there." And I was just like, and I scoffed at that. And I really had to dig into the guy, and I basically gave him the backhand compliment of like, "The fuck you here at TwitchCon?" Is basically what I was trying to tell him. I was like, so they had a dude who doesn't play video games, doesn't know anything about Twitch, doesn't know anything about video game culture or Twitch. And I said, TwitchCon is like video game culture. And they send a dude, this guy, who doesn't play video games, who doesn't know anything about video game culture, to fucking TwitchCon? I was like, aren't you then? By the way, I kept thinking, I was like, isn't that like a bad representation for marketing for the company? I was like, you don't know shit about Twitch, you don't know shit about video games, and you're here at a convention that's pretty much about everyone that loves video games. I was like, bro, definitely fish out of fucking water. Like, the fuck is this? To represent Facebook? Fucking Facebook, dude. Holy shit, they're fucking up. That's fucking funny, right? And every single marketing major operations exec probably cringed at even hearing this. They're like, you're a multi-billion-dollar organization. You send someone who has zero playtime of playing video games to a convention where it's TwitchCon, where your whole life is usually around video games. That dude's a fish out of water, representing their multi-billion-dollar company. The only reason we got to arguing, we're just talking about AI. It's just a dude was dumb as shit. The fucking arrogant. Fucking programmers, bro. Some software lead programmer, whatever. Like his job, I told him, I was like, dude, I was like, AI is coming to take white collar jobs, not blue collar jobs. He like looked around like ain't seen shit. Like he's just deer in the fucking headlights. I was like, bro, explain to his fucking face. I was like, once these AI systems are perfected through iteration, like the white collar jobs are gone. I was like, I already told him, but this is the same knowledge I had last year. I was like, AI can program better than programmers. It's going to take his job, your job. I told him to take your job. I was like, AI could be a better doctor than the doctors. There goes all your family members that are doctors. AI will be a better lawyer than your lawyers. There goes all your families with all your lawyer jobs. Gone. I was like, AI could be better as a teacher and professor, so all those stuck-up academic asshats, all their god jobs are gone. All those Ivy League dumb motherfuckers. Dude, the first fucking thing the Ivy League schools are going to do is replace those asshats with fucking AI systems. Cuts back at risk. You know what the risk is? Too many times universities are paying out their fucking ass in $1 million lawsuits because some professor did something fucking stupid. Like that's some shit. Put that in a pipe and smoke it. Fucking how many times medical facilities have to pay out their fucking ass to some fucking medical doctor fucked over some patient, screwing over their healthcare, millions of dollar lawsuits, and then hospitals are paying out. You know, fuck yeah, giant multi-billion hospitals are like, we can have better doctors than doctors and not deal with all the other risk. Oh shit, I can have incredible AI doctors that just work 24/7. Holy shit, I can have incredible AI doctors become surgeons and just be doing surgeries 24/7 and save lives. There's no risk. Holy shit. Holy shit, create AI doctors that actually produce zero risk and have 99% like perfect outcomes. Holy shit. Or the increased percentage chance of generative AI doctors operating with machinery, machines, or robots attached to them. So now all of a sudden, imagine you have like robots with AIs in them. They're going to be better doctors than doctors. And they'll never tire. Hell, you have, I do feel super bad. You know, once you have millions of robots that can do the jobs better than nurses, and there goes nurses. Once you have millions of robots do the job better than nurses, there goes the nurses' jobs. So, incredibly sad. A whole bunch of international programmers all around the world, here in the Bay Area, headlong right into AI, didn't stop to think, why, how are they should they be doing this? Why are they doing this? How are they doing this? Once AI comes, in about 9 years to transition. That's why you probably need about universal basic income or some sort of UBI or whatever. Universal basic income, UBI, some kind. Because the U.S. government and state governments and corporations, U.S. government, state governments, federal government, corporation, conglomerates, firms, academics, they're all going to build their own AI robots, and then they're going to eliminate tens and tens of millions of jobs. And these asshats don't give a shit about me, you, or anybody else. The only thing they care about is making money. They're already doing it at grocery stores. My Safeway nearby might only have like 4 cashiers tops. There's literally like 27 lanes or something like that or whatever. There's like 27 checkout stations. There's only like 4 workers working. It is not they cannot hire workers. It's that because the automated checkout eliminated probably like 20 to 15 jobs per position per facility that does groceries. Is that much more digestible, Bill Nye-able? Let's democratize it so people can understand it. I'll try to Bill Nye the fuck out of it. I'll try to Bill Nye explain the hell out of it. So your creation of your automated checkout removes all those jobs. The difference is that Amazon was trying to design stores to remove 7-Eleven. So Amazon was specifically gunning for 7-Eleven. They were trying to build a convenience store that doesn't need a worker. But guess what? People like talking to their convenience store workers. They're like from the neighborhood. They're for the neighborhood. They're your community. So Amazon inadvertently was basically like giving a middle finger up to every single like community or 7-Eleven or convenience store. Being able to walk into a store and like talk to somebody is like pretty helpful. But at Sprouts, there's like 1 cashier. There's 8 lanes that are empty, and the self-checkout has like 1 person. Because they don't need 10 or 20 cashiers. You have self-checkout. They might have 2 or 3 cashiers, 4 tops for 8 lanes. So they have all this electronic equipment just sitting there. Money in the cashiers, of course, but they're not utilized. So you know what they do now? My Safeway? There'll be literally 1 lane. There'll be 1 lane, 17 lanes that are empty, 17 computers just sitting there, no one's using them, and on the 18th lane, there's 1 cashier. Because the self-checkout is so efficient, 99% of people use the self-checkout. The self-checkout area is so efficient in a Safeway that there's already like 15 little self-checkout computers. 99% of the traffic just use the self-checkout, and there's 1 cashier just sits there. And when there's no one in their lane with the light on, they're just stocking the shelves. And at max like busyness capacity, all 15 self-checkout computers are all being used at the Safeway. So you're all constantly flushing out every minute, 2 minutes, 15 customers. So 2 minute, in like 30 seconds to minutes, because sometimes it takes people slow. There's young people and old people moving heavy stuff or slow stuff, right? Eggs are fragile. That cake is fragile. You're moving slowly. The heavy case of water, the heavy case of soda, whatever, you move at different speeds. In 1 minute, 2 minutes, you're shifting out 30-something customers. Right? And so even at max traffic, there might be like 4 cashiers. And that's if people are still using the cashiers, because 99% of the foot traffic is using self-checkout. Hell, if Safeway pushed it even further, they'd probably find a way to remove workers. Amazon tried, failed. But it's nice walking into a store and be able to talk to somebody. So imagine walking to a store and it's just like no one knows anything, and you're just trying to like navigate on your own, trying to find an object or a thing. Imagine walking into a Safeway, there's no more workers, everything is AI, and you're just like trying to find this thing in an aisle somewhere else. You know what I mean? But thank goodness at least there are some workers in a store. When you walk in, you're just kind of like looking for this thing, you just don't know where it's at. So yeah. Imagine, it should be so weird. Walking to 7-Eleven, imagine everything's AI. There's like no one in there. It should be weird. This is weird. It's definitely just kind of weird. I'd feel kind of cold and disheartened. So you have an AI system. I guess if it's a robot. So if it's a robot with an AI system sitting in a 7-Eleven, would it still be cold and corporate and kind of creepy? Or would you be cool saying hi to a robot, or you just ignore the robot and you just kind of pay for your stuff and you walk out? So actually, thank goodness there are still workers like in a 7-Eleven, because at least it's still kind of warm, kind of inviting, and at least the atmosphere is pleasant. You can say hi to somebody or see how they're doing. Hopefully the day's doing good, or you might hear something about sports or hear something about the news or whatever. But they might share a life story, or you might gain a friend. So actually, thank goodness that 7-Eleven still has workers in the store, because I'm envisioning walking to 7-Eleven, it's just like a robot. Pretty sure I'm treating the robot a different way because it's just a freaking robot waving at me. You know what I mean? See what I'm saying? So international programs in the Bay Area. Headlong right into AI. Didn't think, how are we doing this? Didn't think, why are we doing this? Didn't think, should we be doing this? 9 years to go. 7 to 12 years, but 9 on the dot. A variable percentage. You have 9 years to transition. Tens and tens and tens of millions of jobs are gone. Hell, probably hundreds of millions of jobs are gone. But most likely tens and tens of millions of jobs, because it's only particularly pertaining to the United States. Other countries that do not have the infrastructure don't have to worry about this. If you're in a poorer country, your jobs are fine. Your economic system will continue to thrive. But here in the United States, because our infrastructure is so advanced, it doesn't make your life easier as an American. It just makes it more complicated. So you'll probably need UBI, Universal Basic Income. If you do not, tens and tens of millions of Americans are going to suffer. There's nowhere for them to go. We have 168 million working Americans. 9 years from now, how do you think you transition, 34 million Americans? You can't. There'll be 34 million Americans that are taken out of the workforce. You're going to have AI systems fly aircraft better than pilots. You have AI systems drive cars better than humans. 9 years from now, through iteration, they're only going to get better, smarter at what they're doing. And all the people at NVIDIA are hyped as fuck because their stock just doubled from $400 to $800 and it's pushing like 1,000 or whatever. Their very AI systems are going to take their own jobs away from them. AI can program better than programmers. The hubris of it all. The hoaxcrux of it all. The banality of it all. The self-suicide ideation of it all. The very programmers that design AI systems to drive a car better is going to remove them from their own jobs. The very security specialists that are like security engineers lose other jobs due to AI being able to defense and operate better than they can. Millions of doctors, jobs gone, creates millions of families that don't have income for food. The mechanic will still have his job. The mechanic will still do anything by their hands, analog, tactile skills, still have their job. Construction workers, tactile, analog, still have their job. But millions of academics and schools were designed to use AI to remove their professors. Those millions of jobs of teachers and professors gone creates tens of millions of children that don't have food or money for food. The millions of doctors that are going to lose their job, the millions of lawyers that are going to lose their job all across the United States in the next 9 years, with AI coming, creates tens of millions of children that don't have food on the table. So, because humans and Americans are stupid, they're thinking about problems now in 2024. Not realizing that 9 years is going to go by in a blink of an eye. You're going to blink and look back and realize 4 years are gone. You're going to blink and look back and realize 9 years are gone. So let's try and save humanity one video at a time. I'll show you a video, super short. It's 3 minutes and 42 seconds from NVIDIA. This is NVIDIA driving partner showcase cutting edge innovations in automated and autonomous driving. Watch. Did y'all just see this Mercedes? The Drive Pilot is inside. You're going to have NVIDIA's AI system drive. My bad. This already looks like, I mean, if they're showing it off, they're showing it off. Here's your, looks like some sort of Dodge vehicle. Here is an AI trailer that is automatically docking to your vehicle and locking itself in. Here's an AI trailer that is self-driving, connected to your vehicle and locking. You don't have to do anything. Understand, because the AI system can already move a trailer and self-dock it to a vehicle, it can start doing, well, we already have robots doing a lot of manual labor, but this is most likely them showing off the, oh, it's not even a Caravan. That's actually super fancy. It's called Pebble. So Pebble must be this company or brand that created a camper unit that can self-dock to your vehicle. Looks like some sort of BMW, my bad. Some BMW SUV. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't have a Drive Pilot in here. Or what happens with your AI system and these two are combined. NVIDIA will have their self-driving. There's no person in the truck. There's no person in the 18-wheeler. Some sort of KW brand, really powerful, clean 18-wheeler. This is an incredibly advanced 18-wheeler. Everything you want. The lights, the engine, whatever kind of digitally enhanced. Oh, these systems too are probably a part of it. Oh, there's the sensors. So this opening gap and this opening gap in the material design. So shooting sensors forward. Brilliant design. They did it. So NVIDIA, their tech is the blinding mirrors or your side mirrors. The capsule or component that is the side mirror of the 18-wheeler houses the AI system. There's the material change, so the sensors are shooting forward. Two different kinds of sensors, and it makes sense. You're probably going to want one that's a powerful shortwave band that probably expands out in a bigger gate that can read and react to objects that are close to the vehicle, so I'm guessing probably 60 meters out. And then they have a smaller, slower LiDAR system that is projecting out longer wave bands at a further distance to try to get objects before they turn a corner or just in general. Probably about 100 to 300 meters, right? This is probably like 30 meters in front of the vehicle. Faster to determine everything in front of the vehicle. 30 meters out, right, with a faster, much more minute kind of radar system. And then a long-range radar system to detect objects further out, probably 100 meters or 300 meters. Stuff like that. There, sensors. So people are like, how's your car going to self-drive? You could probably have the whole steering column, the whole steering unit, plus a side mirror. So the side mirror houses the computer, and then you would probably just need a different steering component that would integrate with the AI system that's in the side mirrors. So for your vehicle, whatever vehicle brand, whatever sedan you have or whatever, that's how the system kind of overrides. Not overrides, but that's how you would implement, and the system would always kind of be able to override. So it's just... So NVIDIA and Mercedes are already showing off luxury with the AI system. So here is a Mercedes that's self-driving on the highway in the Bay Area. And they made sure they had a calculated, curated shot, to do everything. They're like, look, you got to make it Everything. If you're gonna market and advertise, they got to make sure everything is, lined up right. Boom, 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 boom. They did. And then WeRide, which is probably like in China. So NVIDIA's maybe collaborating with WeRide. So here's their sensor systems, right? One, two. Maybe, it has 4 sensor systems. Boom, boom, boom. That makes sense. 1, 2, 3. They put 4 sensor systems at the top. Nice. So they have 1 sensor in the front. Polestar. This looks like it's teaming up with NVIDIA. Polestar, if they want, they're probably going to design some pretty cool aircraft and vehicle craft, spacecraft too. Thomas Ingleth, the CEO of Polestar. The way he was reacting, he's not thinking about cars. This individual, the CEO, Thomas Ingleth, he's not thinking about cars. He realizes that Polestar is going to start designing, I already guarantee it, they're going to start designing spacecraft and aircraft. And he's happy as heck to work with NVIDIA. Their design for their vehicles are very utilitarian, almost like spaceship looking. They're excited for like Austin Russell, CEO and founder of Luminaire. I know it's gonna sound weird, but did you all see Silicon Valley? Austin Russell reminds me of like the main character in Silicon Valley. CEO and founder of Luminaire. I bet it's the tech for Luminaire that is not only the foundation for AI, but also for their navigation systems. So yeah. But Austin Russell doesn't realize that he's the main character from uh, Silicon Valley. He can save 100 million lives because their system can match moving objects. Mm-hmm. So what it does is the model itself creates a reticle around any moving object. So anything that's moving, it puts a reticle around it. The Luminaire system reads the shape that this is a vehicle with wheels, and it can read the material that it's made up of. Oh, it's metal component, has fuel in it, bounces off, reads its frequency, comes back. Metallic frequency, alloy, there's fuel, there's carbon, all that makes up the vehicle, and then adds a reticle against it, creates a reticle against it. Another moving object creates a reticle against it. Mm. Yeah, so this is how the NVIDIA system from Luminaire sees everything around it. So it's radar frequency, or LiDAR. It's using LiDAR, and it's bouncing. And so any kind of moving object or any object will get a reticle around it, or a lattice will be built around it. Everything. And then here we go. So now you get to see the reticle design for a rig, or you get to see a lattice built around an object. And then AI just allows the computational part of it to be done faster. So the LiDAR system reads all the objects, can read a human person, attach a rig to the human, or a reticle to create these vertices and these bonds. This is a rig. We see these rigs all the time in 3D modeling. And this is either a lattice or another reticule around the object. It's using LiDAR to read all the shape design, the negative space, and the positive space of the objects around it. So LiDAR is bouncing in and bouncing back and can read the negative space. It'll have a white space or a black space, and it can read the height distance of the model, the images. You can measure it. And it can determine depth. So the video game technology for bump mapping is the basis for height models, and height models are the basis for imaging, and for imaging is the basis and learning pattern for AI systems and have the computational power to apply reticules and rigs to a unit. So hopefully that allows everyone to understand. Here you go. I'll play it again. There we go. So this is what the computer is seeing. This is what the AI system using LiDAR is seeing. Objects are being read, and the frequency of material that's bouncing back from the LiDAR gives us the determination of what kind of reticle to put onto the object or what it is. So we're getting green light back, put a green reticle. We're getting red light back, being read by the Imagineer software from Luminaires. Their imaging software is LiDAR. The LiDAR is bouncing back in frequency. We can tell what the object is. If the object is moving, it'll attach a he's saying simulations. He's saying they take the AI, they have the AI play video games, and then that's what they're saying when they're saying, "Oh, the simulations are great for the AI." Bro, the AI is just playing video games and the simulation is the video game. They put the AI into a video game. The video game is it driving, and then it's just learning how to drive. Global Partner Strategy Lead for Mobility at Microsoft, Kaivan Karimi. Martin Christensen, Vice President of Product Definition from Volvo Cars. He's saying, "Oh, the rate." I'll say it one more time. He's saying the rate of technological advancement in this industry is unprecedented. Well, yes, because all your AI systems are going to increase and accelerate exponentially to Moore's law incredibly fast. It's about 9 years to transition. Tens and tens of millions of Americans. This does not happen to poor countries, just in the United States. Because we're the number one country in the world. So poor countries, their economies would be intact because they'll have their jobs. But here in America, because we're so much more advanced than every other country, we're about to lose tens and tens of millions of jobs. Tens and tens of millions of children will not have food on the table from their parents. Programmers are going to lose their jobs. Doctors are going to lose their jobs. Teachers, academics are going to lose their jobs. The very white-collar jobs that people think they're working, like in finance or wherever, those white-collar jobs, gone. I consider myself I'm just a dude. Just a dude. Just an artist. That's all. Just some Uber driver. Yeah, I'm just some Uber driver. So I'm just thinking about man, humans are stupid. Ain't that some shit? We need to create the immediate effect. We need to create to divert away from all this, but I'll finish the video. I'm just gonna. It's 11:26 p.m. PST. California. The NVIDIA Drive Partner Showcase. YouTube. $9 max. I guess also much more conducive to type out what I'm thinking, and also for posterity, or for future reference. I'll make a note reminding myself to upload this episode to YouTube. It'll be more important than some of the other kind of just episodes. Oh. Okay. Shit. That's some shit. I need to reheat up this food. The food's still good. Just gotta. Bro, that smells divine. Oh shit. That's pretty good. Oh, my bad. It's some noodles. My bad. It's noodles. I don't know what kind of veggie this is, though. Never quite bugged them. Well, the noodles are noodles. But I meant, I don't know what kind of veggies. Okay, I see fresh cut garlic. Maybe some sort of bitter root? Could be fermented. Not sure. very sour. Interesting. Oh, this is a giant thing of broth, whatever, but. Hmm. That's gonna sound weird, but oh, there's carrots, cabbage. Oh, that is divine. Oh my god, that's so funny. So, roast beef stew is very similar to, well, relatively speaking, they're very close. It's like our American roast beef stew is really similar to beef noodle soup. I was like, duh. The only component, of course, that's different is we have the potatoes for the starch, and then their starch is like a noodle. And then some other flavors, there's bok choy, carrots, beef, cabbage, and then there's like some sort of like fermented sour, maybe some sort of bitter fruit leaves of some kind, like leaves that are, of course, are cut up that are like, and then with really nice noodles. So I'm just gonna heat this back up. There's just not enough room. The broth's at the top, so you can't add the noodles to the broth. It's gonna spill over. So I bet I've seen it before. Simon said, dude, come on. It's classic. It's a good show. Let's go, ladies. Oh, Star Wars reference? It's a Luke Skywalker. You're just gonna go there and start.
to bring up a good point. Sounds like smoke break. You guys smoking. Wait, stop. Are you doubling your function? So, yeah, just the references are foundations, but on DBZ and stuff. Right? Episode 5, North Strikes Back. The same training that she put yesterday through. Same video I put yesterday through.
What'd you make?
Well, I didn't make anything. I reheated, picked up some beef noodle soup from
So
Charlie's.
what soup?
Some Charlie's beef noodle soup. It has like a black fungus, kind of like mushroom flavor. It says mushroom, so it's black fungus. And it has carrots, celery, smoked and melted bacon,
Oh, cool.
chunks of beef. What's that? That's deep. Oh, she's trying to sleep. Yeah. What's she doing? Did she bite you? Or did she just put her head on your arm? Good baby. She usually likes to sleep, and that might have been the communication of she's trying to sleep. But she's a smart cat. Pretty intelligent, but smart. The Dublin Capital over here, on Cedar Street, their Tyler's Beef and Soup is really fire. It has such a deep beef flavor.
figure out the NVIDIA video. Chopsticks. This is, I'll check in. I'll take a picture. This is some Taiwanese beef noodle soup. You have some bok choy veggies. You have some like this black fungus or like mushroom, black mushroom. You also have carrots, of course, and then of course, good chunks of beef. See if I can. Oh, maybe I can't cross it. Maybe I can't. There we go. Good stuff. Really good. Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. Really good. Oh, not bad. So dropping this over. Oh, they can't see it. Good cuts of beef. A different kind of deeper flavor. It was like a fermented veggie that was added to the noodles. The light oil. I forget what kind of noodles. They have two different kind of noodles. They have hand cut noodles and they have like regular noodles. I think these are. The reason I left it in the pot is because the plastic container isn't big enough. So you put down a cloth or a kitchen cloth or a bar cloth or something like that, and then you have the hot. What's it called? You have the hot. Sorry, moving some stuff. And then it just has some extra bread, like cranberry drink, extra bread. Or you do with the bread too, like if you have any kind of beef stew. This is different. It's a deeper kind of richer flavor. There's a light kind of oil for the noodles and like a fermented, like sour, maybe fermented like leaves of some kind, some sort of like bitter leaves of some kind. And then only like one or two things of green onion stock. There's like carrots, a black mushroom or black fungus. And the beef stew is definitely made with like a beef broth, of course. But usually what you can do too is then just dip, slices of bread, break off. I'll probably fold the bread, and just dip it into the beef stock. So you don't always have to. You can just drink the beef stock, right? But or the bone broth or the beef broth made with beef parts. But really good, and they have an excellent selection of stuff to choose from. Was that where the being last time? I think it was. Let me close this. It's 11:59 now. Perfect time for just like a break, actual break. This will be dinner break time, like midnight. It is now the next day. It's now 24th. I could call this like part 1 and then make a part 2, right? Maybe that make more sense. I've always thought it was interesting keeping it as one giant video or break it up into small videos. I'm gonna call it part 1. I'll explain it in 1 second. Part 1. This stream, the optimal is this will either be 2 hours or 4 hours. It's easier to upload, faster and easier to upload an edited 2-hour video or 4-hour video to YouTube. Yeah. much easier. Versus if you have if your video to YouTube is like 6 hours, it's actually harder to edit the video via the algorithm. There's too many parts to it. So if the video is under 4 hours, you can upload to YouTube, and it can come through it with all its bots and just it was some kind of AI systems for Google and really fix the YouTube video. So if the video is 10 hours, right, you try to upload that to YouTube, it's really hard for it to edit it. So now, if your video is less than 4 hours, you can go in and remove audio from sounds or music. You can edit in certain parts. You can remove copyright stuff. As long as it's less than 4 hours, all their YouTube, and since Google owns YouTube, Google YouTube or YouTube Google, they're Google's enterprise, and YouTube is the platform. Has advanced AIs and algorithms that can just mute sounds, cut up sounds, remove music, edit much better. But as long as the video is less than 4 hours, so that's why this is part 1. So I'll try to keep this under 4 hours. Keep it to 4 hours max. I'll shoot for 2 hours and 30 minutes or something like that. But it's about the time again. I'm like, nah. I'm gonna write this one down. Based on the color, so this, how can I describe it? The green from the organ on here and the green that I'm seeing here is normal. But the green that you see, the Kelly green you see that I'm wearing, I don't see that same Kelly green. It's just like another indicator, like the eyes. See if this can change. It looks somewhat similar. The colors are all orange. I think my oranges look different too. It's too vibrant. Or maybe it's just the video editing is too vibrant. But Oh, no, not good enough. I hear unnecessary surgeries instead of abortion. It's real life. It's no longer. Must be an anime. Maybe it's Gundam. New trailer. Oh, I'm sorry. Don't know what this is. I'm sorry, but don't know who that is. We'll play. Oh, this is Japanese martial arts. Good people. Pokemon vs. Arisaki's chat settings. The message wasn't posted due to. This is probably some sort of Japanese dessert of some kind. The Jeep is handled like that. What? The hell is this? Honey spotted in the jeans. Hold on. It's just too young. It's just, no offense to Honey. She's probably good people. If I click the not interested, does that mess up the algorithm? She's just. If I click the not interested on YouTube algorithm, does that mess up the YouTube algorithm? I see what it's doing. They're saying which chat am I interacting with first? Like your priorities are what? I have no idea who that person was, so I'm not gonna undo it. I don't care. Ukraine is important, but right now, American fascism is a problem. Well, it's not really a problem. It's more just requires a little more tender focus. And then this gentleman here is martial arts in Japan, been following for years. Incredible in his craft, brilliant. This is the most iconic steakhouse in Las Vegas. Oh, they messed up. I don't care. Late night ramen for myself. What? First off, if you're already using those noodles, right, in these utensils, come on, man. That ain't wrong. Man, I ain't gonna cook pancakes on the ground, right? So, let's make some proper ramen. I love ramen. I love ramen so much that when I see shitty ramen, it hurts my soul. That's how much I love ramen. Pokemon vs. Arisaki's chat. What is the algorithm doing? What is happening right here? Algorithm is probably trying to have me pick. Google is asking me via the algorithm. Do you prefer Pokemon's chat? Or do you prefer Arisaki's chat? Very particular question where AI learning algorithm is attached, but it's trying to make a determination choice. With Heine, he's probably a lovely person. And if I say, I click the wrong thing in the algorithm, it cuts off new genes. Like their music. They're good. But why is the algorithm just showing me Heine? algorithm's trying to have me determine which content am I clicking on first or most. For Pokimane, or Iman. Iman, she's an incredible person. She's good people. I wonder what she's thinking. But the algorithm's trying to determine news, martial arts, some other stuff that doesn't matter. Actually, three things that doesn't matter. And it's trying to show me. Either Google algorithm's trying to answer the question: are you wanting to watch more content from Iman or watch more content from Angela? YouTube algorithm's trying to make a choice. Why have I got to this point? Maybe for Iman, I would say there's a lot I could say about Pokimane or Poke. Actually, I can't call it Poke because it sounds too personal. And I probably wouldn't keep referring to her as Pokimane, even though that's her persona, right? She hasn't found a guy that'll accept her for just being her. But she's a wonderful person. She's a wonderful person. All these other women that got mad at Pokimane, she's just defending herself. Pokimane's just dealing with shitty women, and the shitty women try to gaslight her into her position. I would say all the fights that Pokimane has gone through in life, my humble opinion, is just gonna be some. Can I say the B word? Is the B word too much? There's gonna be some women along the way that are gonna want to like check her status. So you say jealousy, and other women they get jealous, and then basically they're gonna start trying to like poke at Iman for I think for a period of time in her life for a few years. It's basically like growing up to a battlefield. She's young, the face of Twitch almost, I believe so. So there's I think quite literally she's the face of IRL. And so her stardom is a little bit different. Her stardom is, she's quite literally the face of Twitch. You said the queen of Twitch, she wants to take the crown. But that's up to her. And so other crazy chicks from the side try to check her status, but they don't need to recognize Iman is probably going to eventually become like the queen of Twitch. Her stardom is Twitch. She's basically Twitch royalty. There'll come a time now, I believe even now, it's probably happening now. Everywhere she goes, people treat her like a queen. And as she gets older, she will become probably the queen of Twitch. The website, just because her fans are going to continue to grow. And wherever she goes, there's going to be an entourage. Of bodyguards, and of course women and relatives she wants around her life. But her stardom is going to continue to grow. Oh, my bad. In my humble opinion, she already kind of has that now. I just remember, anywhere she travels, people want her autograph. And her fans are going to continue to grow. And no offense to other streamers, but that is a different kind of fandom. They're fans. But, Jake and Bake is not close to that, but it was really cool seeing Jake. I would say every country that Jake travels to, he can get stream snipes. And so for Jake, it's a funny term. Or basically every country that Jake travels to, there's always a fan. And I always thought it was really cool. I just felt like that kind of fandom is huge respect. Because it's just like showing them beloved. It's like Jake, any country he travels to, it's always like one fan, and that's awesome. I think that's awesome that he's, there's positive influence. Hopefully gotten people out to
see other cultures, see other people, see the world. So Jake is doing an incredible job. I mean, he just recently had 4,000, 5,000 people watching the stream. But what he's doing is he's showing like the everyday life in China, the people on the ground, just kind of how their life is, giving this perfect opportunity for Americans to just see everyday Chinese people and how they live their life. Because he's IRL streaming all, with his girlfriend Water, and also with Cook and May. They're the two friends, and so awesome stuff, But in terms of Pokemon, wherever she travels, I think XQC's gotten there like that too. You can almost say XQC is like the royalty, like a royal member of Twitch. Wherever he goes, there's an entourage. He has to have bodyguard security and family members that he wants close, and they have to build apparatus and then fandoms. I think every city that XQC goes to, fans want to, they want a selfie, want an autograph. He's turning into like the prince of Twitch. You can also see, I think Kai Sen's probably in there too. And then of course the other big streamers also, that have popped up in the IRL community. But in a funny sense, in a good way, Iman comes from like the video game community. So like, if Pokemon ever wanted to become like the queen of video games and take that crown, it's really just kind of up to her if she wants that title. And then her fandom will continue to grow. But yeah, because like I said, there's a lot of IRL people that just do IRL stuff, but they don't game. And so it's up to her. But yeah, just hearing a lot of her vlogs, from her the vlogs themselves that she creates has a funny title. It's like, don't tell anyone. So, but watching and listening to the vlogs, she's sharing her life, and then from that, it's just in my humble opinion, she's a pretty cool person. She sounds like a pretty cool person. Yeah. But I do feel bad for her because of all the crazy ladies along the way that try to check her status, just as her growing up, because she's talked about when she was 19, 21, 23, 25, when she's during those ages where a lot of the drama she was dealing with, it's really like forced upon her, because it's other women that get jealous, and it's them devising schemes to try to mess with her life. And that's a lot of the core of that drama came from. Probably for like a 6-year span. So she's just grown up almost in the battlefield of like relationships, dealing with like all that just BS. And what's fucked up? That takes up moments of your life, where she could have the opportunity to just been enjoying that time spent as leisure. But then imagine just all that, just artificial drama that's basically, thrown upon her from jealous chicks. It just takes up moments of her life. That's fucked up. But I hope now, I would say, she's in a good place. Everywhere she goes, she travels. Fans want to have her autograph or a picture with them. Her influence for women for streaming is at the forefront. Her leadership as a young streamer in the space of entertainment is growing. And then her collaboration, kind of her, her protests become, not protests, but I would say where she protests with her dollars is a great influencer. She'll definitely become a positive influencer in terms of the space of entertainment design. And so that's up to her, she continues to do her thing. What else is there? Oh, going on a rant. Shap. But the algorithm is doing something very specific. The algorithm is asking the question, hey, we're showing you stuff that you should like. Why am I not watching it? And so that's what the algorithm keeps doing. So the first thing, some sponsors saying, what fertility support? What the hell are they talking about? You build testosterone by working out. That's all it is. You don't need a product. in my humble fucking opinion, excuse my fucking language, as you work out your muscle groups, your body will naturally store more testosterone. Not a fucking product. And then you can layer your testosterone by snapping. Well, you're breaking the muscle bonds to force the muscles to repair themselves. So I always tell people your form should be better than your function. Because if you can just functionally move some shitty group of muscles somewhere, it won't work because it's not functional. If your form or whatever, how can I say? Oh, here we go. We'll use the Akudo or Vulcan Driven Sword. Perfect example of weight leverage. I can functionally move all these random directions, but they're not good form. Now you can move like this, but this is not good form. Its functionality is there. This is functional, but it's not good form. It's too fragile. And then you get to good form all throughout. Builds good bonds or links. Like a link in a chain. You can let it find your form or your waza. Kata is a technique. Yeah, waza is your form, and kata is your technique. Bum, 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 bum. So martial arts is a great introduction to reality. Martial arts would teach you how to master your body and physics. So we're going to do... Oh, sorry about that, Fair. My bad, okay. Martial arts is a great way to teach you physics. Like the world around you. You'll learn how to properly control your body. Because even if you can, like, move your body, it's not, this is a function, but the form's all crappy. This is a function, the form's all crappy. You might have a wooden stick going to your elbow, and this doesn't produce a lot of power. This has a function, but it's bad form. So your form always has to be better than the function. So I'll try to build my physics for people to understand. Because physics is the language of the universe. For centrifugal force, is force as it emanates from a pinpoint. As the weight shifts, that rotational force is a field of two bonds, positive and negative, at all times. People are like, there's gravity. What you feel when the object is moving, you feel the tension of the object falling. The very object falling itself is your reaction, existence to reality. What you're experiencing is the collapsing of negative ions. As you breathe, what you feel as gravity, the force that is pulling you down to the earth. If you completely relax your body will just kind of fall to the ground. And then you'll go supine or you'll lay flat. It's the spinning of the earth and centrifugal force of us riding on a train, a giant blue ball, circling a massive star on a collapsing field of negative ions. So gravity, right now, you're under a load-bearing system. Why some people understand that. The field of negative ions is what is pushing you back down to the earth. It is a collapsing negative ions falling upon you. So if you jump, what's forcing you to come back down, what's stopping you from floating out into space, you're in a load-bearing management system of negative ions collapsing upon yourself back to the core of the earth. That's not even gravity, even though that's what people think gravity is. So the moment you have a field of the moment you have a field of positive ions, so ionic thrusters, is shooting out a whole bunch of positive ions, and the positive ions, guess what they want to do? The very fabric of reality of the universe, positive and negative ions, refract, and they move in the opposite direction. With the force that is so powerful, that is the very fabric of reality known to mankind, or humankind. Humankind. Or for everyone on earth are people. Why are you even called human? You should call yourself something else. Honestly, that was so weird. I think it came from like Homo sapiens, or something like that. And it was just like, well, fuck that term. I was like, why would you call yourself Earthlings? Like what? So here on Earth, Earthlings, but that's also Irish. You know, it's English. It's English. So Earth is Scottish or Welsh. Well, you can also call Earth something else, but it does match. There's a lot of the older, well, it should be Egyptian. Actually, I bet Egypt probably already has a name for Earth. So we call it Earth now because it's just from the English colloquial language of the English. They came from the Welsh kingdom and the Scottish kingdom. Because Earth is, Earth sounds, could be Irish or Celtic or Celtic. It also sounds like it's probably more so Welsh or Scottish. Probably more so Welsh or Scottish. The families' names were based on their geography. That's why they have woodsmen and huntsmen. That the name of a lot of the Celtic and Celtic, peoples. The Celtic and Celtic kingdoms had other races inside their government system. So the Celtic and Celtic kingdoms are massive, federations of warrior clans, men and women, because there were women chieftain and men chieftain. But the terminology is different. The terminology is in Gaelic, but Gaelic's not even the proper language. It's actually a different language that's based on. Gaelic was the Romanized interpretation of Roman Catholics trying to codify and quantify and give a nomenclature to the Celtic and Celtic kingdoms that were in the north of them. all of the Irish Roman Catholic empires, their writers referred to northern people as barbarians, but they weren't. Those were Celtic and Celtic kingdoms. There's your whitewashed version of history. They were brilliant. The Celtic kingdoms and Celtic kingdoms would communicate with the Muslim kingdoms, and they shared ideas on how to build weaponry and science and armor, how to map the stars. They were just, in every way, shape, and form, they were smarter, better, and more equipped, and better in everything. Rome fell 3 times due to the Celtic and Celtic kingdoms. They combined their war bands of various men and women war tribes into giant like sieges. And the sieges are that's where that term comes from. Didn't all the Italian city-states that fought each other in multiple civil wars, it wasn't that they effectively seized them themselves. They built their kingdoms to survive the war bands that came from Celtic and Celtic kingdoms in the north when they went south to raid. And so those successive wars over hundreds of years, back and forth, built up a lot of animosity. And so the Celtic and Celtic kingdoms of the north had various factions. You know, there were Nordic tribes, modern day Irish kingdoms, Welsh kingdoms, Scottish kingdoms. So many other smaller kingdoms too, and they're all Celtic and Celtic descent. And then what a lot of the fascists did, you know, around Europe, try to destroy their culture. So a lot of the Italians, before you see the fascism now, all their statues, they called them Gauls. Gauls meant to be a bard, meant to barbaric. They became barbarians. And then, so when they said, do you have the Gaul? It is like, do you have the barbarian? So the Gauls is a derogatory term that Italian and Roman Catholics, hundreds of years, have used a derogatory term towards Irish people, or red-headed people, or anyone that it was of the Celtic and Celtic kingdoms. And they built their stone statues, and they had these naked Irishmen in a weakened position as statues, marble statues. They codified their hate. So the Italians codified their hate so much, they try to have their Italian men like on steeds or horses with a sword and a stone statue carved out, and then the person that's dying or to be killed is always of a naked Irishman or a naked Irish woman. And they have that as like a marble in like the rich Italian family homes and in museums. And because Rome had fell 3 times to the Celtic and Celtic kingdoms, the war bands, the war chieftains of the Celtic and Celtic descent, or the Irish descent, the Welsh descent, Scottish descent, you know, they had gathered together their forces, women and men, and they probably looked like giants too. They were probably like 6'5", 6'9", and then a lot of the Italians were like 4'11". You know, they're under 5 feet. So a lot of the Italians were 4'11", 5 feet, and then a lot of the Celtic and Celtic kingdoms 2,700 years ago were like 6'5", 6'9", and then a lot of the fancy tales they were saying like a land of giants. And then so what the Italians did, the Greco-Roman Italians, what they did for about a 1,700-year period, did military campaigns to invade other countries to rape and steal their women. And so you see that right now with Israel. Israel took their military, and as a government decided they were going to rape and kidnap the women of Palestine, and that's what they're doing. Israel has their massive military, sick, evil bastards, and invaded the country, starving 2.2 million people to death, and the Palestinians, starving 2.2 million people to death, the Palestinians, and they're raping and killing all the Palestinian women, and little girls too. The Israel military is raping Palestinian teenage girls and women in their 20s and killing them. That was the whole goal of their war. Because it's the same. Israel is a European colony. They represent white power. Israel is a European colony. They represent white power. All of the European colonies that exist right now are symbols of white power because all their wealth that was generated is off the back of slaves. Every single European country you see now is a symbol of white power. Every single one. Because their wealth is generated off the back of people that they enslaved. Europe came together with their white imperialism and mapped out Africa and divided up how they were going to invade the continent. They did that to India and China. So this is why you don't see any Europeans doing anything towards Israel, because Israel represents another European white colony, white power. And they have their military invading and killing Palestinians to steal their women and rape their girls. That's what Israel's doing. Their whole military. And they kill and rape teenage Palestinian girls. They kill and rape women in their 20s. That's the whole purpose of their war. And along the way, they're starving with genocide, starving 2.2 million people in Palestine. And so already this past week, Congress representatives finally have enough evidence to where they showed to Biden, pretty much a lot of Democrats and Republicans, both have already showed enough evidence to Biden, like, hey, we need to stop giving supplies to Israel because they're starving people to death. There's already been enough evidence shown to the world, videos of starving children to death, like videos of starving children to death in Palestine. And so then Republicans and Democrats are like, hey, Biden, they both are like, hey, we got to stop giving weapons and stuff to Israel because we can't be complicit in them starving kids to death. So news already came out like the past 24 hours. Even this past week, in the past 2 weeks, other members of Congress, probably about 200 of them, about 111 Republicans, about another 100 plus Democrats, basically telling Biden like, bro, we got to stop giving weapons and supplies to Israel because we can't be complicit in them starving children to death. So now that's on. I tell you now, whatever Biden's doing, if Biden is asleep right now at 3 a.m. in the morning, he could still be awake. Sometimes the presidents are just they're up for 24 hours. If he's awake right now, he's probably smoking a cigar, playing pool, and drinking with his guys. I bet the president works till midnight, and then from like midnight to 4 a.m., I bet he gets to like hang out with his best friends in Barack, and all the guys they sit around and shoot the shit. They like probably play pool and play video games or talk sports or watch sports for like 4 hours or something like that. A lot of time the president can be injected with experimental stuff to basically like keep him going. It's like the most advanced medical personnel equipment in the world. I'll try to explain it real simple, people. The most advanced medical trained people, robots, AIs, systems in the world. Some experimentally research into the future. Like, since we're 40, 80 years more advanced, like what the president gets in care is like something out of a sci-fi movie. It's something completely different. People don't understand. It's the president of the United States, but the role and the position, you get a whole fleet of like elite chefs. You like a fleet of elite chefs. I think it was like 80 to 100 or something like that. Just like he has his own personal photographer, own personal biographer. It's always around assistants, entourage, security, bodyguards. But then it's the of course your life's completely different when you're president. You're moving around through life, and anything you touch, wherever you go, everything within like 60 to 100 miles is like teams of security personnel apparatus have to move. They're constantly moving. Like quite literally, wherever the president goes, there's massive units of military personnel that sit out, 300 feet, 600 feet, 1,000 feet, within 24 miles too, and 60 miles. They keep attack aircraft, like 300 miles out, circling the president, so that anything happens, they immediately swoop in and take anything down. We have stealth fighting aircraft. Anywhere where the president goes, stealth fighting aircraft are sitting, 200, 300 miles off, just undetected. You can't. They can coast. Their vector thrust engines are quiet, like saucers. So you just have a fleet of stealth F-22s, and you can't hear them. You understand? These vector thrust engines. The vector thrust engines it can reduce the sound. It can actually collapse the wave aperture of sound upon itself to reduce its own sound. The very sound the engine generates can be weaponized to reduce its own signature, and that's how we keep everything a little stealth. So as the president's chilling 300 meters out, 600 meters out, 900 meters out, individuals you can't see that are dressed as civilians are Secret Service bodyguards. Are the silent heroes, women and men that protect the president. 1 mile out, 3 miles out, 7 miles out, 10 miles out, 15 miles out. And where the president goes 15 miles away in both directions. You get sometimes 4 units and 6 units. Sometimes it's 4 units, one in front. You build a circle, you build a perfect apparatus, defense network. And you can't get through them. And they're elite, and you can't see them. You don't know they're there because they're in a vehicle, and they're decked out to the tail with the gear. And they're most elite soldiers, and they're most likely the former special forces that want to be the security detail for the president. It's most likely that group that should be like the most scrutinized, the most loyal, their dignity, what they ate, shit, slept on when they were 3 years old. Everything is scrutinized for that position. You need to know all the security personnel and ensure that their background is American. To apologize around President Joe Biden, all of his security personnel must be vetted to the T's to the N's. I understand that even if they had a top secret security clearance, it may have gotten them to where they are now. But the President of the United States needs to ensure that every single security personnel apparatus is American, and that there is no non-American close to them. Because a lot of people can get a top secret security clearance and get too close to the president or steal intel from the United States. We've already seen it. We keep seeing it. We just, in the past 4 years, have removed 2,000 Chinese spies. In the past 4 years, we've removed 2,000 plus Chinese spies. So, among that group, we are seeing them as military personnel. For the past 4 years, we'll see a Marine, Chinese born, then becomes a U.S. Marine, and then is committing espionage, and then now he's off in some federal prison. And we'll see again the next year, Navy personnel, Chinese born, stealing secrets from the U.S., trying to sell it back to China, and then they get apprehended, tried, and sent off to some sort of federal prison, military federal prison, mostly. But among the 2,000 plus Chinese spies that we've kicked out of the country the past 4 years, you have to ensure that essentially all the security personnel apparatus, because I keep seeing lapses and stupid shit. I'll best put it like that. As a former Air Force vet, too many stupid shit. Like the stupid shit I'm seeing. That why I'm saying this now is dropping aid and it killing somebody. That should never fucking happen. Never fucking. Not from an Air Force standpoint. It had to been. It had no offense. Our branch got to call you out. It had to been Army, or Marines, or Navy. Ain't no freaking way. In 100 years, when should I hear Air Force like dropping aid and killing somebody? That lapse. I'm blaming that on the Army, the Marines, or the Navy. Someone, whoever fucked that up, fucked it. If it was the helicopter units, it was most likely Army. Because in the Air Force, we have helicopters. We don't have helicopters like that. We actually don't really use helicopters. We just fly. If we're gonna move our personnel, we just fly and land, fly and land. But a lot of the helicopter units are Army, Marine, or Navy. So it could have been any of those units. Hell, it could have been Navy, my bad, Marine. Maybe it's not even on the Army. I don't even want to look at the story because it's just like, fuck it. It's super sad and stupid because that last injunction never fucking occurred. They dropped aid. U.S. units in Jordanian government and U.S. government had to airdrop aid into Palestine because Israel is blocking aid from getting in and they're killing journalists. So Israel for the past 4 years has killed like 100 plus journalists, international journalists. Past 4 years, Israel, I think it's like 117 plus journalists. Israel for the past 4 years has killed 117 plus their government, their government, I'm saying their government, Israel government has killed 117 plus journalists. Their military is designed right now to rape Palestinian teenage girls, rape women in their 20s and 30s, and kill them. Because Israel is a representation of white power. They're a European colony. Same in white imperialists you see today. That's why you don't see any interference from Europe. Israel's just another white European colony. Because if they cared about humanity, if European governments give a shit, they would have surrounded Israel and stopped them, told them to surrender. And now word has already come out that in New Jersey, in America, there's a group of Israeli people selling beachfront property for areas that are now leveled by Israel for Palestine and Gaza. So Palestine's the country, Gaza is a region. And are already selling beachfront property from some Israel realtor in New Jersey and the United States. And then the audio came out of Jared Kushner like talking about it. Some of the biggest movements, we had over 380,000 or more, 380,000 or more people march for a free Palestine onto DC. We have millions and millions of people, vast majority, the people that matter, the youth vote. Sorry, no offense to anything else, but the youth vote is everyone under 35. Quite literally, the youth vote is categorized as 18 to 35. That's categorized. Hell, I'll go even lower. The ages of 25 to 18, they're 80% in favor of Palestine because they see children starving to death. They see the suffering of women. They see the hospitals being bombed. They see the cities and homes being bulldozed. Israel's committing genocide. Israel is not hitting military targets. They're just attacking and destroying, committing ethnocide, ecocide, genocide. They're just wiping out buildings. They're destroying. When you start destroying like beach resorts and you start destroying beach homes and you're attacking hospitals and destroying hospitals, that's genocide. And the Israeli men are posing with the lingerie of the women that they rape and kill on social media. People need to understand that it's Israeli military gang raping Palestinian teenagers and women in their 20s and 30s and 40s and killing and murdering them. And Israel already has tens of thousands of Palestinians in concentration camps in their country. Hell, they even have children. Israel's military and government has Israeli children, like tens of thousands of them, locked in concentration camps illegally against their will. They haven't committed any kind of crime. Abducted. It'd be called extrajudiciary. Is how they try to quantify their bullshit. They're like extrajudiciary holdings or apprehensions. Like fucking what? Children that committed no crime, held by Israeli government, Palestinians, children. Israel right now is starving 2.2 million people every single day. Every single day right now in Gaza and Palestine. Babies are starving to death because Israel is blocking the trucks. The UN just yesterday, Friday on the 23rd, UN Secretary General said on Twitter, on social media, Israel is blocking aid. The UN Secretary General basically said and showed a picture of all the trucks stuck, and he said, "Was it U.S. aid cannot get in?" He's like, "Aid is blocked." Guess who's blocking the aid? Israel. So then, America and Jordanian government, the U.S. is working with the Jordanian government to use their airfields, and So the Jordanian government and the Jordanian government and the American government are trying to drop in aid, airdrop aid in. So it's like Biden's a fuck up. Biden's a fuck up because he's just allowing Israel to push him around. And I'm like, not fucking once. Some shitty motherfucker like Netanyahu push around the U.S. president. So it's up to Biden. Because right now, you look like a punk motherfucker. Because if I'm the fucking U.S. president, ain't no fucking way Netanyahu's pushing me around. The U.S. government should have already had a contingency and NATO strike force in place to surround and force Israel to surrender. We would have had our best special forces units from NATO alongside probably a couple fleets. We need about 3 fleets. 3 U.S. fleets. An array of 100 plus naval craft. And a couple 100,000 special forces. Israel would ship bricks and lay down their arms. You know what 100 U.S. naval vessels can unleash onto Israel? Hell, if I was the U.S. president, I already had a NATO strike force in place. It would have just taken 40,000 special forces members, about 100 naval craft, could have surrounded Israel, told them to lay down their arms, surrender. But no, Biden's a punk motherfucker. He's getting pushed around by fucking Israel. Ain't no fucking way in hell if I was U.S. president I'd allow it to happen. Because, oh, Biden, you have to airdrop aid in. Biden's the commander-in-chief. He signs off on the order. Airdrop aid into another country because the situation on the ground, the humanitarian crisis, is a genocide. And all of our U.S. aid is stuck at the doors because Israel isn't allowing food and water in. So we have to airdrop fucking aid into Gaza every single fucking day now. Because Biden looks like a punk-ass motherfucker. If I'm U.S. fucking president, if I'm the 57th fucking president of the United States, not in an ounce of fucking grain salt, Israel's prime minister push around the U.S. government. And a NATO strike force contingency about 40,000 with 100 naval aircraft would have brought that motherfucking country down to reality. Already news came out past 8 hours. Some of the best foreign correspondent, international, pundits basically wrote, Israel continues on this path, they are a pariah. Hey, guess what a pariah is to the world? Israel will just put themselves in a position of basically no return. The Israelis, if you're pro-democracy, it's probably time you get out of that country. If you're pro-democracy and you're in Israel and you're this stupid, it's probably time to get on a boat or plane and get the fuck out of that country. Because the best New York Times pundits, Washington Post writers have already stated this week, Israel's going on a path of no return. They've already crossed the red line. The whole world hates them. The whole world hates Israel. So if you're any Israelis that are pro-democracy in Israel, ain't no fucking way this fucking stupid still be in that fucking country. That's the problem. The U.S. government just gave this week another $3.8 billion of U.S. taxpayer money to Israel. That should never occur. But this same week, members of Congress, Republicans, and Democrats are like, hey, President, technically violating your own laws. We already have federal laws in place. It should not be violated. That shows we should not give aid to a terrorist country. Israel's already bombed hospitals. They give it to terrorist acts. Israel's military has already been seen on video firing a missile and killing Palestinian civilians. The video is already circulated across social media. It's literally 3 Palestinian civilians just walking. Israel, a missile from a drone was flying, just kills the whole family. The whole world hates Israel. GOP, Democrats are like, we cannot be in complicity with Israel as they're starving children to death. Both sides are like, Biden got to cut ties, basically. That's what come out in the past 8 hours. Israel has already crossed the red line. The whole world hates Israel. And the best journalists from New York Times and Washington Post and all these other, all the pundits are saying this week, Israel, the whole world hates Israel, and they've already crossed the red line. And continuing down that path, basically, it's not going to be good. The White House has already pretty much given out their ultimatum about 3 days ago. The White House said if Israel attacks Rafah City, they need to see one of their military advisors in Washington, D.C., and they need to explain the plan clearly what their objective is. So what the coded language that the White House was sending to Israel was, if you attack Rafah, you've crossed the red line. That probably means Biden's going to sever the alliance or allyship with Israel. The White House has already coded in their message to Israel, the red line, the Rubicon, is they invade Rafah City without a clear plan that was properly given to the White House. I'm guessing they're probably going to cut the allyship or sever ties. And so if you're an Israeli and you're pro-democracy and you're still in Israel right now, probably get on a plane or get in a boat and get out of the country. Because the moment Biden cuts allyship with Israel, if they cross the red line, we're not coming to save Israel. So any other country that wanted revenge, they're on their own. And guess what Israel did for like 70 years? They made like enemies of everybody in the region. Israel has 0 friends in the region. So the moment, the White House already gave their message. So yeah, if Israel invades Rafah City, they'll cross that red line. I mean, they've already killed 30,000 people. Even the president's so pissed. That's all he got. He got just like mad. Like you cold, dead, old fart. He just got mad. Biden had the look on his face like disappointment in Israel for killing 30,000 civilians. And basically the way Biden described it is like Biden gave the green light to kill another 30,000 civilians. What it fucking sounded like. Old white, old fart motherfucker. Right now, people are fucking pissed. Right now, people are fucking pissed that it's like, 34,000 plus Palestinians killed, 70, 90,000 plus wounded. We're damn near 130 to 150,000 innocent civilians that are suffering. And to the 2.2 million people that are starving. People are fucking pissed right now. And so, that reaction that you had, Biden, is very dismissal of the children that are suffering and dying. The weight of their souls should propel you forward. So it goes back to the red line. It's the White House's message on Twitter to Israel. Basically to not invade Rafah City. If Israel goes ahead and invade Rafah City, they'll cross that red line. I can then assume the president's probably going to cut allyship with Israel. Israel then, for 70 years, didn't make any friends in the region. They made enemies. So if you're pro-democracy and you're in Israel, probably be on an aircraft or a boat and get out of that country. Because the moment Israel loses the allyship to the United States, They have to defend themselves on their own. But Israel just made enemies to all the countries surrounding it. Hell, Israel's committing genocide right now, and the whole world hates them. I guarantee you this. 99% of our military members, their stomachs are sick. They don't have to defend Israel. I fucking guarantee it. 99% of our military members are like, man, we gotta put our lives on the line to protect Israel. I fucking guarantee it. Because we see the whole world hates Israel. And their country committing a genocide. I fucking guarantee you, 99%, fuck, hell, 100%, all military personnel do not want to be on the assignment to, like, protect Israel. No. You gotta stop Israel, save Palestine. Israel is a military authoritarian country, a bunch of white nationalists. The billionaires in Ukraine that fled when Russia invaded went to Israel. The billionaire Russians that were in Ukraine that fled when Russia invaded Ukraine fled to Israel. And a lot of what you see now for Russia is a lot of symbols of Nazism. They have a lot of white nationalist fascists. In Russia, the big symbol is the black sun. In Russia, a lot of their military members have the black sun patch. Those individuals are Russian Nazis. But they're just white nationalist fascists. That's what people need to understand. And I get lost in the nomenclature. They're just white nationalist fascists. And the same thing you see in Israel. It's more white nationalist fascists. And then all across Europe, probably right now Hungary is the biggest proponent. Hungary is a white nationalist fascist government, military authoritarian kind of power in Turkey, with a dictator in place. And so, what time is it now? It is 1 a.m. Stream is 2 hours and 33 minutes. It goes back to just editing videos and just having different video lengths. I was telling myself maybe 2 hours and actually right about now, 2 hours and 33 minutes. I'll end the stream here. Cut. End stream. End stream from this is the Friday, March 23rd start. Your ad break has ended. Cool. Yeah, no, this is just the ending the video around the ad break and ending the video like what parts that don't really matter. So since there were ads that were being played, you know, the last breakdown of like the end of the stream, 2 hours and 33 minutes. It just makes it easier too. So for YouTube editing, your videos more than 4 hours, it just takes longer to upload, and the algorithms actually don't work. So if your like videos more than 6 hours, it's too slow. It takes too long to upload. It can't kind of use all its bots to crawl through and try to fix everything and find everything, map everything. So if your video is 8 or 10 hours long, I explained this earlier. If your YouTube video is more than like 8 hours or 12 hours, 17 hours, you know, if you're streaming, the video is almost too long, you know, and so. And you really don't really need it to. Like, let's say I remember Arya Saki and another streamer did like a 24-hour stream or 34-hour stream, 30-hour stream. What they were doing is they would sleep on stream. So they would stream and then they would just keep streaming and they would just sleep and then would wake up and then get ready and then continue gaming or streaming, whatever they were doing. And just, that's what propels the long watch hours and all that, you know. But, and they're working because you're just doing your thing. But, for upload wise, it's really bad. Like you can upload a 17-hour video, and even then, other streamers know this. They usually just cut the video out manually, you know. But it's also much easier just to like remove the parts that are just more segmented when you categorize it. So if you're gonna sleep, just start and stop. If you're gonna do a sleep stream, you know what I mean. And then now you'll already have the edited cut of your sleeping. And if you really want to get more technical, you can start and stop. Just like your video game content and IRL content, and then it's already like kind of categorized. You just have to go through and like see it. Like, oh, what you see it, you're like, League of Legends stream, you see it. You'd be like IRL stream, you see it. Like sleep stream, and it's just much more easier when everything's already kind of cut up in the beginning or just blocks. You know, you kind of categorize everything, but for the YouTube algorithm, it just makes more sense because essentially, and on top of that stuff, files can get corrupted too because the data is moving too much. So, which is really weird. That won't happen in the future. That's because infrastructure for internet the infrastructure itself is so bad, so shitty that is the packet loss of information and data. So because the junction of how data travels across the United States with old copper lines and old wiring that degrade over time, the plastics that house them, those create packet loss or hiccups in the internet, the data that travel. And then on the opposite end, you get your corrupt files. So for example, if I upload a 10-hour video, and let's say it's a sleep stream, let's say I sleep 10 hours, that video itself is big. But what's great is it saves space on my computer. So that 10 gigabyte video, whatever, if I'm sleeping 10 hours, gets sent off to YouTube. Once that data is gone, the video, then I can just, I don't have to save it on my PC because now it's saved to YouTube. And then if you want, you can create like a Dropbox account or create like another storage account, and then you can always kind of, take that data and then create a second copy onto like a storage, and then you're good. And then a lot of places have like, you pay $5 per month or $10 per month, and you get like unlimited storage, digital wise. And then you could just always grab your file, and then you're dumping your file into like your own kind of digital bin or safety vault, or how you want to describe it. You know what I mean? Your data vault. You're paying for storage of data. It's just like a data vault or storage vault or digital vault, how you want to describe it. And if you really want to be technical, but for me, a lot of the videos are already on Google, and so I trust Google and their security to have the files and never complaints. So I'm not gonna like waste time with this secondary kind of upload. Because I trust Google to have incredible security tech teams with their own AI and their own AI security teams to protect their data. And so since YouTube was bought by Google owns YouTube. Google bought YouTube, so Google, all their people are Googlers. I trust to where once you upload the video to YouTube, that's good enough for storage. You don't really need a secondary storage. But there are other streaming sites or whatever, and I imagine their security, like Vimeo, I don't know, bro. I mean, maybe you guys are good, but Google's security good. It's like when you get compared, and that's just facts. So yeah, Google security team will be better than Coca-Cola, be better than MGM, yeah. So it's just like, whatever Vimeo's doing, their security team just won't be up to par against the Google security team. So I trust them to hold my data if I'm going to upload a stream or something like that. And ultimately, I think Vimeo was even in contention and competition with YouTube. And then once Google comes along and buys them, they have such a massive enterprise that you can't match them to anything. You can't. I mean, Vimeo can exist, right? But just comparatively, Google security is going to be better. So once I upload to YouTube, I don't need to visit Vimeo or the other streaming sites. Well, I guess it's more video sites. YouTube is just a video site. But yeah, when it comes to streaming and all that, I'll just cut this video here. This part doesn't matter. This part will be cut out. 2:30 to whatever now. These last 9 minutes, I'll just cut it off. Because there was like a 5-minute ad break or something like that. And the 5-minute ad break was from the 2:34 mark. So anything from 2:30 till now, these 9 minutes are just gonna disappear. I'm just gonna delete them. It doesn't matter. This is me rambling, yapping. This is probably cut.